ViaGuard Accu-Metrics, science and technology at its best.
Hi, my name is Harvey Tenenbaum, and our company is ViaGuard Accu-Metrics. We are a leading company in assisting people in obtaining pardons and waivers in Canada. The reason we're a leading company is that the service we provide is personal, expedited, and economical. A pardon or waiver is a life-altering experience. It can be very smooth and effectively implemented, or if mishandled, there's a lot of trauma and aggravation that accompany it. We're here to ensure that the process is smooth and effective. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about what a pardon is and how one obtains one. What a pardon is a technical recognition by the Government of Canada that your record, your criminal record, should be eliminated because you've paid the penalty at the time the charges were laid and you've gone through a waiting period to become eligible and have displayed exemplary conduct during that period. The process is very straightforward. Clients either come to our facility because you must be digitally fingerprinted, and our system is linked directly to the RCMP system. So when you come here, you're digitally fingerprinted, the image is transmitted almost instantly to the RCMP in Ottawa, but then there's a waiting period for the fingerprint results, the background clearance certificate that officially lists the charges we want to be eliminating. For that document to get to us takes a little bit of time because the RCMP are perpetually overloaded with requests. When that document arrives, we proceed to notify and contact the courts of jurisdiction, the police of jurisdiction, and get the additional information we'll need for ultimately filing with the Parole Board of Canada. Now, when you come to our premises, the most important thing we'll be doing here is the detailed application for the pardon. This is a very critical step. Parts of that application are largely biographical, and we'll assist you through those to ensure they're filled out absolutely properly so that there's no delay as a result. But there are some critical questions that must be answered, and there we will work with you to ensure that your circumstances are adequately put forward and put forward in a manner that will curry favor with the Parole Board of Canada and assist in the expediting of the process. This is a very critical step, and it's something that has to be dealt with on a face-to-face, personal basis. Now, pardons can be done remotely, but there we would have to have extensive telephone discussions and conversations, but it's not something you can fill out online and then go on your merry way. It doesn't work that way. It's too complex, and the need for accuracy and proficient answers is critical. Now, the timing of the process works this way. The RCMP will take several months to send the report through because normally where there's a criminal record, and there always is, of course, when you're applying for a pardon, they just take a lot of time to process and verify the information. Once that comes, obtaining the court and police records is fairly rapid. We can get those in several weeks. Once we've got that, and you've executed the paperwork either at our facility or at a distance, then we're ready to file the application with the Parole Board of Canada, and we will submit the application, and contact them to monitor its progress. We want to make sure applications are dealt with in as expedited a manner as possible, and particularly that there are no internal delays. So we're dedicated to getting your pardon as economically and expeditiously as is possible. No other provider of services can offer the level of efficiency and personal service that we provide. Now, let's talk about the counterpart to pardons for a moment. The waiver. People who have criminal charges in Canada are increasingly subject to being rejected when they attempt to cross the U.S. border and enter the United States. There are a lot of reasons for this, but the primary reason is the increasing security level and sense of paranoia that the United States Homeland Security and Customs and Border Services are now engendering. And this, of course, has been rapid since 9/11. But the reality of it is, it's made life difficult and impossible for people who, for family reasons, vacation reasons, or a variety of other reasons, want to cross the border and go to the United States in an unimpeded manner. There's nothing as embarrassing or difficult as getting to the border and being sent back. Now, what's particularly important is that when you reach the U.S. border and you do not have a waiver, but you know you have a criminal charge, and the customs officer asks you, do you have a criminal charge or conviction in Canada? Now, some people may feel that it happened 25 years ago and there's no point in raising it. It's probably buried in the dust of history. Wrong. The reason they ask the question is because they already know the answer with their sophisticated computer system. Because their computer system is linked to the Canadian justice system with the RCMP. So at the same time as a conviction is registered in Canada, it goes into the US system. Unlike a pardon in Canada, it's never removed. It's there in perpetuity. So to deal with it, you must address the question of a waiver. But when asked the question at the border, answer truthfully. Because if you answer truthfully, all that can happen is A, they'll say, I'm sorry, there's a criminal charge, you'll need a waiver to cross, or we'll let you cross one time, get a waiver. They can't do anything beyond that. If you lie, and they will know it, then of course they'll take you into their isolation room, question you for between 4 and 7 hours, and mark your record as attempting illegal entry into the United States with a whole set of complications. So tell the truth and deal with it. Obtaining a waiver is relatively a straightforward process. And that process involves this. Just like obtaining a pardon, a waiver is obtained by first digital fingerprinting and getting a copy of your Canadian record, then filling out the requisite forms for the United States government, a 992, a 325A. Those are fairly biographical. The important component of that is the letter that we have to prepare and assist you in that explains the circumstances of your charges, why you want entry, what you've done to rehabilitate yourself, and several other critical matters. So there you will need our assistance to make sure that your application will be favorably received by the United States Homeland Security people and a waiver issued. Now, we can briefly talk about the costs and charges, because as far as pardons go, they're in a state of almost immediate transition. Pardons, when the new legislation proposed by the present government is enacted, will now be called record suspensions. Obtaining a pardon will become much more onerous. Instead of having a waiting period of 3 years for minor summary type offenses, 5 years for slightly more serious indictable offenses, the time periods will become 5 and 10 years, and the conditions to obtain a pardon will be much more onerous. So it's important, if you're considering it, to act now if possible. It's You will still be able to get a pardon later, but it'll be under more onerous conditions, and the government fee structure may escalate considerably. The costs of obtaining a pardon through us are minimal because we do a very large volume and we're efficient at what we do. Your fingerprinting will cost you, including the RCMP fee, about $70 odd. The pardon process itself complete is $249. Then you must pay the government fee when we file with the Parole Board of Canada for the pardon, and that current fee is $150. A waiver, again, you have to be fingerprinted. The cost is approximately $75. The fee for obtaining the waiver, $199, but the difficult part is the fee you must pay the United States government. The fee is $585 US at present, paid at the time the application is filed. Initially, it will buy you a 1 or 2 waiver and then is renewed every 5 years, but the fee must be paid each time a waiver is renewed. If you have any questions or concerns, we will deal with them in a personal and confidential manner. So take our phone number off the website. The toll-free number is 1-877-842-4827. Contact us. You can speak to one of our representatives or me personally, Harvey Tenenbaum, and we will be glad to assist you through the process and make sure you understand all the ramifications. Thank you.